Anyways, um, so all right, man, let's get into it. This story is going to be a little more personal, I guess you could say, considering that it happened like like I'd say probably like maybe 10, 15 minutes ago, because but we just gonna get right to it. So my barber of 10 years, I've been knowing this dude for a while. He goes to my grandma's church and all that on like Sundays and Saturdays, I believe. My grandma has known this dude for a while, like probably longer than I have, to be honest. But like, yeah, homie just retired. You know what I'm saying? And we it was kind of a trip to see just how quickly time just kind of goes by, because and I remember the last time I went to him, like before this time, which was today, and depending on when this video goes out, it'll probably be tomorrow or maybe sometime around that. But I went to my barber today of 10 years. He's retired. Of course, he's an older gentleman, 66. Been going to this dude for about like 10 years. When my cousin Eli, who should be ready to come home any I can't really put an estimate date on his release date. But my cousin Eli, who I've also grown up with, who ended up getting jammed up back in around like 2019, getting dragged into a fucked up situation. Let's just say that. Um, Needless to say, it was a messed up situation. You know what I'm saying? It's public information. It's already all the shit is out there. I went to the homie's court date. That was all the way back in like 2019, 2019 around 2020. So he been in jail for about like 6 years at this point. And he should be getting ready to be released. It's hard to say when, probably any day now. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? The homie Eli, because, I grew up with dude. I played on his Xbox 360 back in the days, when grandma used to live in that house. I mean, that little big old blue house, the old house that she had been living in for like 20 or so years before, she ended up having to move like a few years ago. And, she lives right across the street from my grandma, which is my mom's mom. So, basically it was kind of a trip to see the passage of time, how everything is sort of like just sort of went by. You know what I'm saying? Sort of just went by. Because it wasn't that long ago, I was, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and my nieces and my nephews and, my sister, my little sister, as a matter of fact. I got five sisters. So, but my little sister, she's about like 11 now. So, I mean, yeah, passage of time is crazy, ain't it? You know what I'm saying? But to get back to the thing with my barber, as far as what he was talking about, because we had little deep introspective conversations, the usual, that type of shit. And he would, when I went on that ride with him, you know, after I got my hair cut, even when I was in the barber shop, we had a night, we had a good old talk, man, because he really did, he really was there for me in a lot of instances, man. And I'm not really an emotional type of a person most of the time, but it was a few occasions to where I ain't gonna lie, man, it was like I needed that help. You know what I'm saying? That was the homie. Still is. But we was in the barber shop, singing Zoom by the Commodores, which I don't think a lot of y'all even know that song. Maybe some of y'all do. I don't know. I don't even know how many fucking people this gonna reach with this video. I have no idea, but I'm just gonna put it out there anyway. Singing Zoom by Commodores. I like to fly away. Zoom, zoom. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Yeah. The homie was talking about how, all the stuff that, he did or he got away with, just him living as long as he has, doing things to get rid of his sins and that type of stuff about being accepted into the kingdom of heaven and all that. And for those of y'all who don't know, me personally, I'm not religious at all. I'm not, I have a very strong dislike towards Christianity for my own personal different reasons. But, it really did make me think when he was talking. You know what I'm saying? Because it kind of hurt me a little bit to see him in the weakened state that he was in. It really did. It really does hit home that, man, shit, niggas is getting older. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, man, I'm about to be 23 now. I'm about to be 23 in a few months. See my cousins, my aunt, see my cousins, my nephews, nieces grow up. One of my nieces is 18, I think. Yeah, about like 18. I got another nephew, that I watch grow up. He's 13 now. Another one, probably around the same age, and it's a trip. It's a trip, man. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, value your people, man. Value your time. You know what I'm saying? Value whatever you hold dear in this life. Because you never know. You never know, man. You know what I'm saying? You got people that's close to you that's really solid like that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, enjoy it, man. You never know. The months could turn into years, and I'm glad I did that. You know what I'm saying? But man, it's kind of crazy how all this shit kind of just sort of turned out, all that. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm still young. I got plenty of time and all that, and so I'm gonna use that time to, be successful as I can be. And of course, I'm not gonna put all my shit out to the world like that. Because the more money I'm going to start to get, most likely the less you're going to see of me. But don't mean I'm just going to completely disappear off the face of the earth. It just means that, I'm chilling, man. I'm happy, when that's the case. I want to be in the Caribbean somewhere, probably in Jamaica or whatever, smoking some good Jamaican weed, just up under them fucking trees, just watching the goddamn, the water waves and shit just wash up. That's the goal for me. You know what I'm saying? So shit. And not to mention, I've been getting more fit, you know what I'm saying? Obviously been doing this shit more consistently. I just got done not too long ago doing about 100 push-ups. Only did 60 straight before I had to take a break and do the rest of them bitches. But yeah, I did that. I was very proud of myself for that, and man, yeah, crazy how time worked, don't it? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, to my barber, enjoy your retirement, homie. All that, you know what I'm saying? All that. So yeah, man. My sisters, they getting older. My sisters, like my oldest sister, she about like 35, 36. Around that age now, shit, like, yeah, these people I grew up with, people I saw, compared to how they were, and just even with myself, how I became how I was, what made me take my little transitions and, avoid bullshit, you know what I'm saying, just become more chilled out, mellowed out over the years because, I'd have spent the majority of my life being angry for multiple different reasons. You know what I'm saying? A lot of time, dude I had to raise myself, you know, and it was only like maybe a few figures in my life that I could say that helped fill the void that my dad left behind. You know, when he did those 20 years. You know what I'm saying? But you know, balance out your life, man. You know, balance out your life. You know, you got folks that's close to you, man. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Salute, but cherish that time because you never know when either they may be here or when the months turn to years. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's a trip.